Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 41 of the Squadron podcast.
That's it.
This week, unsurprising, we're talking about spoilers.
But only like 4 or 5 or 6 plus 20.
26.
26 spoilers.
So let's get into it.
Please. So last
First
week,
up.
we left you with Poe Dameron and the Adelphi Patrol winning.
Good cards.
This week, it's a villain week.
Ooh. We're talking about a Bane Nadal.
Spy for
She
the
is
First Order.
a spy for the First Order. She's a 2-cost cunning villain. 1/3 underworld. When played, look at your opponent's hand. You may discard one of those cards. If you do, the player draws a card. Smuggle for 4.
Yep, same aspects of the smuggle. You like Spark a Rebellion? So does Villain, and they get a body for it. I mean, yes, your opponent gets to technically replace the card back, which is that's why you get the body for it. But man, this is really great.
Yeah, this is a really cool card. This is a card that a lot of the time if I'm playing Spark Rebellion, it's to remove one card. It's not necessarily like
to stop the turn.
There are some decks that are like, oh, I just want to discard, and that's kind of my game plan. But a lot of the time when I'm playing Spark Rebellion, it's to get rid of the threats that are to my board that turn.
It's just snipe cards. So like, if you're going for a go wide kind of underworld deck, which we got a lot of pieces for this week, you definitely want to be sniping like Super Laser Blast and Kill Spells and things like that. So like all those events that are just going to straight up kill you guys or board wipe, bombing runs. So it's definitely, I agree. It's not a card that's like, welcome to my villain discard deck. It's a, hey, I'm trying to get rid of the pieces that are going to disrupt me this turn. And
this is a really good card to be like, play it, McClunky it back, play it again when you need it later on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Certainly that's coming up. This could be a really good card to kind of ping some damage, the McClunky ping some more damage.
That's actually a great turn 2 play, like honestly thinking about it, because don't forget, you play this turn 1, discard a card. You could potentially hit their turn 1 play, and then they turn 2, they play their turn 1, you McClunky it back, kill it, play her again, just further disrupt them. Like, it's awesome. Like, she's very, very good.
Just completely, like, chunking away at their game plan. You cannot be underrated as a...
She's incredible. I definitely give her a 4 out of 5. Next up, we've got some pretty interesting cards. This card is Coruscant Dissident. There's a 3-cost Cunning Heroism Underworld Twi'lek 3/4, so really good stat lines. And on attack, you can ready a resource. It's pretty interesting.
This is very good. Especially this is very good in a situation where this is essentially the Ezra of the set kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
This is a card that's a 3/4, so it's kind of annoying to deal with on that turn 2, and it's really annoying to leave on the board.
Yeah.
This is going to give them constant value as the game goes on.
Now, a hero deck, can Boba Fett.
Half Boba Fett.
So
you are still hero. You can't full Boba Fett.
True. Just a little bit of Boba. No armor. This card's pretty solid. I think this is interesting. I don't know where I'd put it right now. I just think it's just a genuinely good value unit. Like, I would probably just put this in like if maybe like a Lando deck or something like that, or hell, even a Han deck would be pretty. This would be pretty nice in Han. So yeah, honestly, I
think this is... Now, we've had a few things, leaders come out, and there's a lot of speculation. I think this might be one of the things that is pushing Afra to hero.
You think so?
I think so, yeah.
Potentially, because there's still, at the point of recording this video, there's still one yellow hero leader left, which we believe is Dr. Afra. So that would be super cool.
We were convinced she was going to be villain, but as we've seen more reveals, we're pretty sure she's going to be hero now. There was a big fight on Coruscant in the comics. A lot of stuff going on. I can't remember exactly who was in it, but I think this could be like an allusion to that.
That'd be cool if she synergizes with resource untapping and stuff like that.
That would be very cool.
Very awesome. So maybe like, she could draw when a skill untaps your resource. That'd make this really pivotal to the deck.
That would be very interesting.
Really great value deck. So Honestly, I think this is a pretty decent card. I think it's nothing remarkable, but I think it's like overall, it's just like this is really good.
I just like speculating things.
Yeah, that's fair. 3 out of 5, I'd say with this one.
Fair.
Here he is. It's Bill Burr.
It is.
Migs Mayfield.
What if I had not 2 guns but 3?
True, absolutely. One on a little gubby arm, but he's also got 5 guns.
Benthic 5 tubes?
Benthic 5 tubes. This is Migs Mayfield. He is a 2-cost aggression 2/2 underworld. When a player discards a card from their hand, you may deal 2 damage to a unit or base. Use this ability once each round.
I think the biggest thing about this is it's not when you discard a card, it's not when your opponent discards a card, it's just when a player discards a card. This is going to be really fun in...
Kylo Ren.
I was going to say that this is going to be really fun in Twin Suns.
True. Absolutely. Absolutely. You just be pinging the board. This is really funny if you, force surrender someone or someone spark a rebellion to someone else. You just be like, hey, guess what? I actually get to ping something. That's really fun.
Yeah.
But this is just genuinely good in Constructed. Like, this is really good in Kylo. This set, I've noticed something, that a lot of the units that are early drops actually have higher attack this set, but lower health. We're getting a lot of 3/2s, a lot of 1-cost 2/1s. So Migs Mayfield turn 1 dropping him and just even being like, hey, look, I don't want many cards in my hand anyway. I'm pretty happy to just tap, discard, and kill.
And we talked about wanting it in the gameplay, but that's going to really increase how good the make an opening is in decks. I think that's going to be a huge card next set, especially with all these kind of small little boys coming in. That a make an opening is perfect for.
I think Migs Mayfield is actually really good. I think he synergizes a lot with a lot of stuff. Like, have him and Bazine out and just keep, pinging stuff and stuff. So all in all, I definitely like Migs Mayfield quite a lot. I would give him a 3.5 out of 5. I think he's really solid.
Lovely.
Ooh, a little pew pew ship.
A little pew pew. This is a Rokai gunship. It is a 2-cost aggression card, which is a 2/1 underworld vehicle fighter. When defeated, deal 1 damage to a unit or base.
Nice. Pretty good card. All in all, I'd say nothing remarkable. But it's an underworld card. It's got decent attack. I've been able to I think it's when it's defeated, it's really nice because especially to been testing with mono red Kylo aggro.
Yeah.
And this is one of the really good linchpin cards in it because you give it +2/+0 swing for 4 or just keep swinging 2 and 2. If they trade it and kill it, then cool, you take 1 to your base.
Or you can finish off something if they have 3 health.
Yeah, if you're running it with one of the other cards coming up, it is Underworld, so it actually triggers her to deal damage. So really cool stuff. I think Rokai Gunship is fine. I don't think it's super crazy, but I think it's pretty decent. You want to run an aggro deck? Here you go. Here's a great aggro space card.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
aggro Space Race is going to love this one.
I love aggro IG-88 and Space Race.
It's a shame no one on this couch likes aggro Space Race.
Just gets better, baby. Every set. So yeah, I give this one a 3 out of 5. I think it's just pretty...
Speaking of fun space shenanigans,
this is cool.
This is a very cool card. This is Triple Dark Raid. This is a tactic. This is a event 3-cost command. Cunning villainy. Search the top 7 cards of your deck for a vehicle and play it. It costs 5 less and enters play ready. Return it to its owner's hand at the end of the phase. This card's nuts. This card is sneak attack that bounces it back to hand rather than defeating it. And
it costs 5 less.
So okay with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So the downside of it, I'm sure you're out there going, what's the bad card about it? You can whiff, and as we know, vehicles aren't as prominent in decks.
If you're running this, you're probably running enough vehicles to hit, though.
But this is so cool. You can just play some absolutely wacky stuff. One that comes to mind is you play Fet's Fire Spray with it, swing. You play New Adventure, replay the Fet's Fire Spray, and because it's a new card, it doesn't go back to your hand at the end of turn. Then you can swing again. And then you can swing with your Boba and untap 2 and play New Adventure again. You can play the Fet's Fire Spray again.
One thing that I was thinking of is very good with this is one of the big things that Villain has struggled with consistently is Space Race, the Cunning Villainy. And the thought has been to put Corellian Fighter in to kind of help with that.
Yep.
This would actually help with that a lot. Yep. Putting this down, putting the Corellian Fighter for the turn. It maybe takes some damage, you bounce back to your hand, you play it again.
Or, that's really good, or if you really want to, it's kind of like 3 extra copies of 7 Fleet Defender.
Yeah.
You know, just play
It comes in ready, so it's one of those things where it's just like, it's better than playing it from hand.
You know, you could even pay 3, get a Cartel Spacer out, tap something down, swing and kill something else. At the end of turn, you bounce your Cartel Spacer to play it again next turn to tap another
something
thing
else
down.
down.
So
Yeah,
it's a
very
really, really good card to stall aggro with the pieces we've got, and it does only get better the more space we get.
Yeah.
So I think Triple Dark Raid's awesome. Also, the art's super cool. I think this is from the Resistance Fighters TV show. So pretty cool stuff. I think this card's really good. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Understandable.
Here we go.
Our
Is this
first
a
legendary of the week. There are more to come.
We got a lot of legendaries this week.
Yep.
A lot of cards that feel like legendaries too.
If you've been watching us for a little while, you might know that I love taking my opponent's cards.
Yep.
It's something that I enjoy in my
Steal,
card
you love
games.
thieving.
I'm a little thief boy. And this is great to me. I love this. This is Dryden of Voss offering no escape. He is a 7-cost cunning villainy, 5/7 underworld with shielded, and when played, choose a captured card guarded by a unit you control. You may play it for free under your
Holy
control.
moly. Holy moly.
I think the biggest thing about this card is it can be very mediocre if you don't use it right in a way, and can be absolutely devastating when used right. I think this is a card that is really, really cool, and is a card that the top end of is so incredibly broken that it makes up for its kind of lower bottom end if you're only able to like
I agree
capture
with
those
that.
like little units.
Hey, you're stealing all of my opponent's stuff. Palpatine deck is getting a little bit closer.
Oh, it's getting closer,
You've
baby.
got Traitors, you got the leader, you got your Dryden Bosses now. Just build yellow-green Palp, steal your girl. I think, so for those of you who don't know, Dryden Voss is the main antagonist of the Solo movie. So I like this card quite a lot. I think this is a really good payoff for capture.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is the ability, like that kind of big thing we're looking for, that I've been looking for to pay off for capture, and just being able to say, awesome, that card that I captured, it's now just my unit.
Which is so cool. I think he feels like a legendary. He has a payoff for capture.
Yeah.
He's Underworld, so he synergizes really nicely.
He's a 5/7 shielded, so he's
Pretty
not
great
easy to
too.
remove.
Yeah.
I think
he comes down at the same time Count Dooku does. But
Yep.
his stats are way better than Count Dooku's.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And theoretically, he actually can get you more ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're pulling something like you've captured a
Now,
like one of the key things.
The important thing to note as well with Dryden is you may play the unit
That
for
was
free.
exactly what I was about to say. So you capture a Vader, you play the Vader, then you get to look at the top 10 and play another unit.
Yeah. So you are stealing that, and unlike capture, which what normally happens is if I kill the guarding unit, I get my captured unit back, but I do not play it. It is just put back onto the field. I don't get any when played. It loses all of its previous upgrades, all that kind of stuff. Dryden specifically states that you may play the card, meaning it gets any when played abilities. You know, if only there was like a really wacky 7-cost ambush card that came in, could divert damage to another Underworld card.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Doesn't
Anyway,
ring a
moving
bell.
on.
But I give Dryden Voss a 4 out of 5.
Absolutely, I think he's fantastic.
Are we here already?
We are here.
Here she is. She features in the last card's art.
Now, much more independent.
True. Literally right after this, actually. Right after.
This is Kira.
Here she is. Han Solo's girlfriend? Who knows?
She's a villain this time, unlike the first time that we saw her.
True.
And she has the ability, action, pay 1, tap her, deal 2 damage to a friendly unit, then give a shield token
Oh
to
boy, I sure do love giving my grit units shields and more power.
That's exactly what this deck is doing. This deck is a grit deck. It is designed around grit, for grit, by grit.
Yeah.
And it shows
For all you gritty fellas out there.
everywhere. Like, there's very few things you want to use this on that isn't grit. And I think this is going to be fantastic. I think this is going to be a really, really fun deck to play.
You get First Light. You get the high-low-bit enforcers. You get Occupier's Siege Tank. You get Black Santon. You get Scout Bike Pursuer is actually really great in this deck. Because turn 1 you can play your high-low-bit enforcers, make them 3/2 shielded.
Yep.
Turn 2 you can play your Scout Bike Pursuer, make it a 3/2 shielded. Just really cool.
Yeah. It turns that kind of like, that take 2 damage to get the shield.
Yeah.
That like, you're like, oh, that's the like, you pay 1 for a shield just like Luke, but you have to deal 2 damage instead of just having it played on that turn. Like, that's the downside. And this deck is like, my unit's damaged?
No,
a downside?
I'm an aggro deck. I'm coming for you now. Like,
yeah. And funnily enough, only gets more interesting when she flips.
I dare say that out of every single leader we've seen in the game thus far, this is the most interesting.
Yeah, this is the most unique. This is the most
100%.
This is the most based around one kind of thing so much that it's like it's very very interesting.
Leader, obviously.
Take it away.
So epic action, she flips at 5. She is a 0/8 underworld with grit. When deployed, Monty, you don't hear that every day. Heal all damage from each unit. Then deal damage to each unit equal to half its remaining HP, rounded down. So this can board wipe any unit with 1 health, because it halves it, rounds it down to 0, kills it. She heals everything. So when you heal all of your units, and heal all of your opponent's units, what you do is then you ping all of the shields off of your guys, half their health, so then you
No, it won't kill 1 costs.
It's rounded down.
Yeah, but that's the damage you deal is rounded down.
My apologies.
So you'll deal 0 damage to them.
That's all right. But the important thing is here, you'll half your opponent's health, remove all the shields from your guys and fully heal them, which means you can now trade into your opponent's whole board, buff all of your grit guys back up. Plus, Kira is a 0/8 with grit, so when she comes in, she heals everything, and she deals 4 damage to herself. She's a 4/4 grit.
And that's the kind of thing as well. If you have a lot of grit boys, you're fine with dealing that.
Yeah.
Because you heal them up, you take them all to half health, and they all become these 3/2 beaters that are just and there's a lot more grit that's coming.
Yep.
We have the ship.
Yeah, first light, give
everything grit. This is gonna be a really interesting deck. I'm really excited for this deck.
Just do this and then bombing run a lane. And then just bombing run ground, kill everything, and then Kira lives and she's a 7/1. Second lead with grit, villain, very cool. I like it quite a lot. I think there could be some really interesting and cool stuff. Mono blue Kira could be really fun.
Yeah, especially with a new double blue card that we'll be talking about in just a second.
Yes, that would be so cool. So I definitely really like Kira. I think she flips at the right time. I think she's got all of the really good makings. I think the skill ceiling for her is really high, which I like. I think she's a high finesse leader that rewards player skill and timing. So I am going to say that I think she's a 4 out of 5. I think she's just for creativity alone. I like this guy. This guy goes in the deck for sure.
Absolutely. This is Lum Pike.
Here he is, dealing truths.
This is a 4-cost vigilance, villainy, 4/6 underworld.
Notably, the second 4/6 blue card in the game. The first one was obviously Nima Outpost Constables, which is our guy.
Which is a 2/6.
Oh, I'm a fool on camera.
And also Cargo Juggernaut.
See,
a 4/6.
I personally just like to think about my stuff first and just pretend like the others aren't there.
Okay. No worries, buddy.
I am not a dealer in truths. That is the difference between Lon Pike and myself.
On attack, you may give a shield token to an enemy unit. If you do, give a shield token to a friendly unit.
Notably, if your opponent does not have a unit and they cannot give a shield token, you also may not get the shield token.
Yes,
you
this
have
is
to
not
give
one
it,
of those
and
situations.
if you do, you get the shield.
You can also smuggle him 5.
Pretty good. Hey, that's pretty nice costed. Like, his stats are really good. His on attack's pretty nice. Smuggling him out for 5 is not bad either, because it's not like it's 6. It's not double the cost. It's just 1 extra. Lon Pike's a pretty interesting unit, especially in a control deck or a more mid-rangey trade-based deck where you're like, hey, I want shields on all of my guys. I'm just going to take down this unit anyway. So I'll attack and it can have a shield and I'll get a shield. And your opponent goes, oh, thanks, man. And then you go take down.
Instead of
calculated
take down
lethality.
calculated lethality.
Then put a 1/1 on Lon Pike.
Yep. Then he gets a shield and 1/1.
That's pretty cool. I really like the creativity of this card. I love the art.
It's
I love
very
the
nice.
art quite a lot. We saw this artwork a while back in our artwork episode. We discussed it because they showed this was one of the pieces they showed off. But Lompike's really cool. I'm honestly a big fan of Blue Villain this set. I think it's very different to what we got set 1, and I like it.
And it's gone a lot away from that, which is good. Hopefully that kind of, and you all know what we were talking about.
Hard control,
the
baby.
hard control, no units, mono blue.
It's moved into more of like a mid-range unit. So it's still, I would still classify it as control, but it's moved more into trading units, collecting and healing.
Yeah.
Like collecting bounties and healing than it has just going kill, 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 kill. Which interestingly enough creates some really interesting and fun decks because they complement each other. You were able to
absolutely.
include the board control of that with the unit. So Lompike's really cool. Give him a 4 out of 5. There's this grey card with a guy that looks like Chirrut.
It does kind of look like Chirrut.
That's what I noticed. The first thing I noticed when I saw this card was like, Chirrut in what?
This is a street gang recruiter, not Chirrut Imwe.
Not
It's
Chirrut Imwe.
a 5-cost grey card. It's a 4/4 when played. You may return an Underworld card from your discard pile to your hand. Here's Underworld himself.
Definitely for draft, and I think that's good. I think a cool card like this, just recurrence for draft, especially when, you know, in draft you maybe only have 1 or 2 copies of a card, especially if you want to get, you know, I don't know, what if there was like a 7-cost ambush, could divert damage to another Underworld.
It's also a case of, if only there was a reason that I would want to play an Underworld card and recycle an Underworld card for a leader that's coming up, or another grey card that's coming up.
I do like both of those cards coming up quite a lot, actually.
Before we get to that, though,
it's a cool draft card. I will give it a 2 out of 5.
we got to go through the card that has
my
caused a stir.
I like Vanquish. That is probably unrelated, but I like Vanquish. I just wish it killed leaders. What do you think would be a fair cost for that? Like 8? 7 or 8?
So, Rivals Fall.
7 or 8, right?
6 cost. Defeat a unit.
Okay.
The art's incredible.
So can you just go back a little bit?
No.
Just a sec.
Yeah.
Just go back for me.
6 cost.
Yep.
Defeat a unit.
Yep. And so it's like defeat a non-leader unit,
No.
though, right? Okay. But it's 6 cost,
No.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So but it can't hit leaders.
Yeah.
Oh, so it can hit leaders?
Uh-huh.
And it costs 1 more than Vanquish?
Yeah.
Okay. This is really good.
And so the Voltron
Wobble.
players fall.
I hope you didn't want your Palpatine leader.
This
Oh, is that Vader? P6?
I think this is a card that is currently,
I love the art.
if put into our set 1 meta, is one of the best cards in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
I think in the set 2 meta, it's gonna be okay.
It'll be fine. I think like if we get like a big leader that has like a big old booty,
Jobber.
yeah, perhaps like 12 health. I think this would be good into it. But once again, like I've seen a lot of people be like, "Oh, it's the end of days. This card is just so good." Man, welcome to playing against Takedown with a leader who is at 5 health. Like, this is how she is like. I played Chirrut. I top 8'd with Chirrut recently at a store showdown, which was really funny. And it's just part of the territory. Like, you just need to adapt, and I think like good players adapt well and can adapt quick. Everyone adapts at a different point, but once you learn how to play around it, or sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and deal with it. And look, one way I look at this is, oh man, my leader's dead, but that's probably their whole turn. That's probably their whole turn.
Usually, definitely their
So
whole
then you
turn.
just go like Darth Vader, and just like top 10, or you play something else, or you get like another big. And
I
then
think
like,
there's a certain like
just make them regret killing your leader and not saving it for whatever you play.
yeah, and I think there's something to be said for their blue is blue, right?
Yeah, it's just how it
blue
is.
is blue,
Yeah,
and
it's
it
what it
is what
does.
it is, and it's gonna be able to kill anything you play.
But that's the point.
But
That's part of it. That's its whole deal.
there is also something to be said of just because they can print powerful cards that are hard to kill, except for blue. Blue can kill them. They got to pay the premium to kill them.
That's the thing, is you got to pay the premium, right? You got to remember that once again. Yeah, oh my gosh, like, for those, because I've seen a few people just be like, a card will get revealed and it's really cool, and then someone just goes, oh yeah, but, it just dies to Rival's Fall. Yeah, but they're, like, that's someone's whole turn, and then usually the cards that you're playing for that, they usually do something so impactful when they play, they just get you ahead even if it's dead.
Yeah. And this is, I don't think, a bad thing, being able to counter decks that just go, I'm just going to play one big bomber turn, and I'm just going to win. Yeah. And, like, having counters to that deck is not a bad thing.
No, definitely not. I agree. I think that this is a fine card. I think that there's nothing wrong with it. And one important thing is as well, people got to find deck space for this. I know there are some people out there who I just take Vanquish out. Sometimes Vanquish at 5 is, like, really good. Sometimes you need that on curve. Sometimes you need this on curve. So it's important to note that this is just not the be-all and end-all of cards, and this is a actually fairly standard card. It's great, it's fine. It's a 3 out of 5 because it's nothing miraculous.
I think this is going to be a sideboard card.
Yeah, I think maybe a lot of decks might struggle to pay 6 for this. I think a lot of people might get to the point where they're like, I just wish this was takedown.
I think the only really one that can get to this quickly enough is a ramp deck, which is all in green. You have to play green-blue, which I know is a big control card, but like
you're pivoting to green-blue, you might as well just like, if I'm playing green-blue, I don't want to spend 6 for this. I would rather play like 2 small guys. So at that point, I'm taking this out because I'm putting Vaders in and other stuff, because my green-blue deck synergy is a mid-range go wide, Moff Gideon, stuff like that. Like check out today's gameplay. And you'll see what I'm talking about, where that deck is blue-green. But I wouldn't want to run this.
No.
I don't really need it. I've got calculated lethalities, I've got takedowns if I need it, and training and stuff.
With the increase of upgrades in the game, I think this loses some of its value where Vanquish and Takedown and calculated lethality, all of these cards are these kind of blue removal cards that each have their niche moments of when they're the best removal and when they're not very good removal.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think this just joins that in the kind of
it just is, to me, it's just another Vanquish.
Most of the time, Vanquish is better than this.
Yeah,
most of the time.
Most of the time it is, because it costs 1 less. And 90% of the time...
A lot of the time, Power of the Dark Side is better than this.
No, Power of the Dark Side is better than most of them, though.
Like, a lot of the time, Super Laser Blast is better than this.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we already have these cards. Yeah, you have to get to 8 for Super Laser Blast. But if you're willing to pay 6... Getting to 8 isn't that much further, right?
If you're willing to pay 6 to kill 1, you're willing to pay 8 to kill 5. Like,
at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's like, this card is so close to already existing. It's not some new mechanic that's come in. Yeah. It's not some brand new card that's bringing a new thing that we haven't seen before and gone, oh my god.
Just more of the same.
It's just another thing. It's like, I got to be careful not to flip my leader without another unit on board, otherwise it can get Power of the Dark Sided. Well, now you just have to be like, well, maybe they'll pay 6 and spend their entire turn to kill my leader. I better have some backups and be able to do
I'm happy with that.
Stuff.
If someone's going to do that, and then I just followed up with like 2-3 drops. Anyway, I think that's a 3 out of 5 card. I think there's no point in overreacting about it. Is this our first mono blue card of the set?
This is our first mono blue card of the set.
It
is Midnight Repairs.
Here he is.
He's a 2-cost Vigilance. Ooh. Heal up to 8 total damage from any number of units.
Well, that's pretty great.
It is a very niche card.
I think it's great.
I think there's a lot of decks that will struggle to use this.
Chewy. When you flip your leader and someone beats him, they just pay 2 to heal 8 from him, and then they have to beat him again.
There's definitely there's what we've seen, Chewbacca, the Gentle Giant. You have seen the wrath of the Gentle Giant.
Oh my gosh, that guy is not to be underestimated. If anyone out there is like, Gentle Giant's pretty mid, you're wrong. I love that card. Wookie.
If we may, perchance, drop our own cards into the mix, the Nima Outpost Constables.
Hey,
pretty good to heal them up.
Did you know that he's actually the only, as I said before, only 4 cost 2/6 revealed this set. He's pretty good. It's all ours. Now I'm a dealer in truths. Now I'm a dealer in truths.
Oh, I don't think there's another 2/6.
Now I am Long Pike, dealer in truths. You get a shield, dear viewer. You get a shield.
Raise 2/6.
Ray's a leader. And she doesn't cost 4, she costs 5. Technically. Have we covered Ray?
No, yeah, that was
that was last week. There's just so much. There's just so much. There's just so much stuff. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
You saw the thumbnail. You saw the beautiful art thumbnail. Now you see the card itself.
Well,
oh yeah.
Wow. Okay. So 3 out of 5.
Get
away
anyway,
with this
back
guy.
to. Now we have Bravado.
Oh, I love this card. I love its art. I love its art so much.
This is a 5 cost aggression neutral. If you've defeated a unit this phase, it costs 2 less to play. Ready a unit.
Let's just keep fighting though.
It's
right.
No.
Right.
No.
Oh, so it's just keep fighting that costs more, right?
No.
Oh, so you're telling me that if my Kylo Ren leader has 2 fallen lightsabers and an arm to the teeth on him, and I swing for 13 damage.
Yep.
And then pay 5 and untap him? Swing for 13 damage?
Yeah.
Oh. So in a way, he does keep fighting.
He does indeed. This is a very cool card.
This is so cool.
I like this card a lot. I think this is a card that can end games.
Yeah.
This is a card that you go, haha, and they go, oh.
Swing
I think this is a fantastic card. When we've talked about it 100 times, but clan challenges with an upgrade on them.
Yeah, entrenched on it.
And you just go, kill that. Overwhelm damage with ruthlessness on it as well.
Oh.
And the bounty, and it's like, kill that, get the bounty, get the ruthlessness. Yeah. Oh, I guess I'll just pay 3 and do it again.
I mean, if that unit has top target on it, you can just heal the damage off of your clan challenges.
Yeah. I think this is a very cool card. I think the art is lovely. I think the card is lovely. I rate this card. I
rate this card as well, 4 out of 5. I think it's really fun. I think you need to watch out for it because you'll just lose to it if you're not careful.
Speaking of weird cards, is a card that really a lot of people are going to get wrong. This is a weird card, and I love it. It's a 1 cost aggression neutral 3/2. Sounds amazing, but it says when played, if you played this unit from your hand, an opponent takes control of it. So you pay 1, you play this 3/2, you go, here you go, opponent, you have that. Hold on to this for me. And then
bounty.
Then we get to the bounty. So this card is, your opponent now has control of it. Now you're gonna have a way to kill it. The way you kill it, then moves into its bounty effect. So your opponent has control of it. If you own this unit, play it from your discard pile for free and give an experience token to it. So it is a 3/2 on your opponent's side of the field. You go make an opening, heal 2. It goes to the discard pile. Your bounty activates. You own the unit. You play it as a 4/3.
It's really good. I love this in Bosk because I go turn 1 Dengar. I play this, give it to my opponent. I attach a 0 cost. I attach, let's say, what is it? I think it's called Most Wanted or something like that, where you put a 0 cost bounty, Dengar pings it for 1, tap Bosk, ping it for 1, claim the bounty, play it, and put a shield on it from the Most Wanted bounty, or just whatever the other 0 cost bounty is, because when you upgrade a unit, it deals 1 damage from Dengar. Bosk's tap is ping. You could untap 2 with Wanted and just extend your turn 1 and become incredibly aggressive. Obviously, that is a very, it has to happen kind of niche play, but Dengar and this in a Bosk deck work really nicely together. Because you can just get...
Unfortunately, the bounty doesn't work with Bosk. You won't be able to... if you have Bosk flipped, you won't be able to do this twice.
No, but I'm talking about, turn 1. You can tap and ping it. This bounty, so James is right. If I have this unit and Bosk hits it and I get it, it doesn't get 2 experience counters. It just gets 1. Because
because it's play this card, and
Yeah.
that card is no longer in your discard pile to play the second
Exactly, but
activation.
if it's turn 1 and you drop a Dengar and then play this and put a 0-cost upgrade on it to ping it for 1 and tap your boss leader to ping it for 1, you're starting the game with...
And then untap 2 and pay 2 to play...
something, anything, of Crafty Smuggler...
Kylo's Fighter.
The TIE Silencer, and then you've lost 4 cards in your hand, and you've
you've
played your whole hand turn 1, but you're way ahead of your opponent.
I mean, you can do that on boss... Oh, no,
You can actually also ping this with the boss leader and just give it +1 power. So if you want to be aggressive, you can
so
just
if
be
it's when it's a 4/3, it becomes a 5/2
and just swing. Yeah, which is really cool. So there's a lot that this card can do. It's actually super interesting.
Yeah.
I really like it. I like how it plays. I like what it does. It fits nicely in the deck it was made for, which just is Bosk. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It pretty is straight and obvious. It goes in a Bosk or Bounty deck. But honestly, love it. Love it to pieces. Think it's really cool. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5.
I just have one question?
Yes.
Oh, we haven't talked about the leader yet, so I can't ask about it. Never mind.
We'll
talk about it later.
I want to know now. He's literally like 2 cards away.
Yeah.
Speaking of these 2 cards are absolute doozies.
These cards are absolute doozies.
Do you like the Bad Batch?
I do like the Bad Batch.
Do you want more Bad Batch support?
I do like more Bad Batch support.
Here you go. Here are 2 more Bad Batch support cards.
Here's a 5-cost command heroism, the Marauderer. This is a 4/5. A vehicle, space, ambush. Choose a card in your discard pile. Put it into play as a resource if it shares a name with a
pretty good when played. So the Marauder...
More ramp.
Yeah, the Marauder comes in, it ambushes and kills something, and it synergizes with like what Hunter does and what Echo does, where Echo comes in and you can discard a card, and if it's got the same name as a card you control on the field, it buffs up. You can, I've got a Battlefield Marine on board, and I ambush this in and kill something, and then I've got a Battlefield Marine in my discard pile to ramp. And I've been playing a lot of Mono Green Hunter recently because James told me about it, and he was like, "It's really fun. You have to try it." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sure it's fun." And I played it. Oh man, I was like, "It'll be fun. It'll be fine." And I played it.
It's fun.
It is so fun. And this card is such a good piece in the deck because ambushing the control space and ramping to flip Hunter that same turn usually is nuts.
Very, very good.
I love this card. I think it fits so well, even in not just a Bad Batch deck, but just like, I think you'll find that in like a green hero ramp deck, you're gonna have a lot of double up name cards in your discard pile. Echo-based Defenders, Battlefield Marines, Falcons. Like, there are a lot of cards in those decks people want dead and you want played. So you're going to be doing that, and then just getting something like this out in like a Han Solo high-rolling U-Wing deck is pretty good. So I give it a 4 out of 5. I think it's really solid. And then, James, it's another card for your Palpatine Steal Things deck?
I love my Palpatine Steal Things deck. This is Choose Sides. It is a plan. It is a 7-cost command neutral event. It is choosing friendly non-leader unit and an enemy non-leader unit, exchange controls of those units. So you get my...
If we're Hunter, you can have my Alliance Dispatcher, and I will take your Avenger.
Essentially.
That's like, I played a game where there was a Ruthless Raider with an arm to the teeth on it, and I went, wow, that's a cool card. How would you like, Mr. Kylo Ren player, to have this Alliance Dispatcher, and instead I can have this 6/6 that buffs up my Hunter leader? That's really cool.
That's really cool.
I love the artwork of just how judgy Hunter is. I can see, like, they've got masks on, but I can see Hunter's like, what are you doing? And Crosshair's like, just, good soldiers, they follow orders. Good soldiers follow orders. And
Hunter is definitely giving him the side eye.
Like a death set,
and Crosshair is just not making eye contact. I actually did not notice that, and I love that art.
This card is actually insanely good, though. This is such a good payoff for ramp. Because being like, oh, early game I'm going to play some small guys. Maybe I've played a Darth Vader and gotten, a small Shore Trooper or something. Or, better yet, I've Darth Vader, gotten a Snow Trooper Lieutenant, swung with something else. He's done his job. Next turn I pay 7. I take your best and biggest unit. I could take a Sentinel, and now you can have my Snowtrooper Lieutenant who has to swing into the Sentinel I just stole.
The 2/2 Snowtrooper Lieutenant that I
can't
do not care
anything
about.
else. Yeah, so this card is such a good ramp payoff, especially in decks like Palpatine, where you're like, okay, I'm playing my TIE Fighters to ping and draw and stuff, and here's one, why don't you just take it? And I'll take this big guy, and there you go. I'm stealing more of your stuff.
Wahoo!
Yeah, and then you could just pay 1 and sack one of your other things and ping the TIE Fighter anyway. It's ultimate, like, I love this. I think it's a 4 out of 5. I think it's such a good ramp payoff. I've got 2 of them in the Hunter deck, just because it's like, I've got, 3 home ones, 3 U-Wings, 2 of this. That's kind of like my end game. I've never been disappointed to see this in the turns I've needed it. Even like after a U-Wing, this is really good because a lot of the time the uneven number gets made up by an Alliance Dispatcher. So you just like drop Dispatcher, drop your Lyra, and drop Echo, and then just like heal 3. And the next turn I'm like, hey, do you want the Dispatcher? So I think it's super cool. Here he is. Well, he doesn't. It's he who needs no introduction. So I guess we just talk
First.
Yeah, it's a 4 out of 5.
Did you say?
Yeah.
My apologies.
Well, it's he who needs no introduction.
He does
gonna
not,
do it
so we're
anyway,
not
though.
going
We're
to
gonna
introduce him. This is a no-named character.
This is Blue Guy.
This is Blue.
This is Blue Guy.
Thrawn!
Oh my gosh, no, it's the other blue cunning control hero.
Cad Bane!
Yeah, baby!
When you play an Underworld card, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, an opponent chooses a unit they control, deal 1 damage to it.
Because, he's coming out swinging. He's pew, 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 pew.
So it does also work with the Stolen Land Speeder. If you turn 1, you can go pay 1, play it, give it to them, ping it for a damage.
If you're
and
obviously
then play...
if you're on the play, so if you're going first and your opponent doesn't have another unit out, because they do choose the unit, you don't get to pick it. But if the first thing you do is just go, hey, play this, and they ping it, you're like, cool. I'm already feeling pretty good about that. And then there's
you can play what's his face to ping it again to get it back with +1/+1 turn 1.
Yeah, exactly. So there's like
if you put a bounty on it.
Yeah, Dengar. Yeah, good old Dengar. So leader's really cool. It's cunning. I think this is a great leader in draft. I mean, he's a common, obviously, so he's great, but he's actually really solid. He flips at 6 and is a 2/8 Underworld Bounty Hunter, raid 2, and then he has a similar game text. So when you play an Underworld card, you may choose an opponent, then choose a unit they control, deal 2 damage to it, use this ability. They choose a unit they control, deal 2 damage to it, use this ability only once per round. So it essentially goes from 1 to 2. Now, one thing I will point out with Cad is his front side is not a pay resources, it's not an action. It's similar to Boba Fett's, where you play in Underworld and you may choose at that point to exhaust or leave him unexhausted, and if you exhaust him, you may resolve the skill. So really cool, really, really cool.
I think this is a really interesting leader. I think it's something that's definitely going to be fun to play with.
Beloved character.
Beloved character. People are going to love this. I wish it wasn't once per round.
Or
I will
you got
put
to
that
choose.
out there.
Or you got to choose.
Yeah.
I think it's okay to be once per round if you can pick, I think, because it's kind of just Darth Vader.
Yeah, with cards like McClunky and stuff like that, I think it'd be really cool just to be able to be like, all right, I play this, ping 2 damage to whatever you want. Awesome. McClunk it back to my hand, pick something, deal 2 damage to it. Play this, pick something, deal 2 damage to it.
Well, I mean,
pay 2 for new adventure, bounce it back, play it again. Do 2 damage to it.
Yeah, with McClunky is one of those things where, because just like Bosk's skill, you actually resolve this after McClunky. So you can go, hey, pay 1, kill this unit. Now you have to pick the other one and take 2 damage to it. Because McClunky is an Underworld trick. It is an Underworld card, which is actually so important because I know it's a bit of a meme, it's a funny haha, but that card is actually unironically very good this set. That card is the open fire for Underworld decks, but it does more because I know a lot of you are probably like, oh, but I don't want to bounce my card. Those Underworld decks are full of 1 to 2 cost great when played. Like, play my Crafty Smuggler. Swing. Remove the shield from it, kill your guy. Pay 1.
And trust me, Crafty Smuggler is going to be a big card next set when it comes to dealing with Inferno Trooper.
Yes, yeah,
It
well,
is
yeah.
like there's a lot of cards that that you need to deal with early, and that is one of them. And that Crafty Smuggler just gets better and better being able to deal with that.
Yeah. I think Cad Bane's really good. I think a lot of people are kind of underrating him. I give him a 3.5 out of 5 because I think he's really solid. I love this card. I love this card so much. I think the art's really cool. So this is Lady Proxima.
It's a grey card.
White Worm. Yeah, it's a grey card. It's just a grey card.
White Worm Matriarch.
White Worm Matriarch. So this is Han Solo's weird adoptive mum from the movie. Sort of.
Is that where that's from?
Yes, she's the... So Han Solo is like, at the
It's been a
beginning...
while since I've seen that movie.
He's like a slave, I think, and he's in servitude to her because she has like the White Worm Syndicate's like a bunch of kids she took off the street.
Right, okay,
like,
yeah.
The underworld recruited them, and then
Yeah.
so she's a 1-cost neutral, so no aspect grey card, 0/4 underworld, and when you play another underworld card, you may deal 1 damage to a base. That's so good.
You can damage your own base.
This is Sabine for Underworld. You can. You can make it easier for your opponent. This card is actually incredible, and if you let this card sit on the board, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
You're gonna have
Look,
a
it's
bad because
how easily it is.
the incidental ping here.
The same thing that I was saying before, right? It's Underworld card, right? So it's Crafty Smuggler, ping 1 to your base. McClunky at back, kill that, ping 1 to your base. Crafty Smuggler, ping 1 to your base. New Adventure, ping 1 to your base.
Greedo, ping 1 to your base. Bib Fortuna, ping 1 to your base.
Like, it's one of those things where, yeah, it's a 1-drop 0/4 that you don't really have to worry about, but also, fun fact, you gotta worry about it.
And then I've been playing games with her with a red, yellow Cad Bane aggro deck, and just like, no one touches her. They leave her there, you ping their base, and then out of nowhere, you just go, hey, pay 3, I'm going to smuggle out this DL44, put it on a swinger, and now I've got a 2/4. I've got a 2/4 that's burning your base every turn. Like, she is very, very good. She triggers Cad Bane. Her artwork is gorgeous. I can't wait to see this in Hyperfoil, in a little goo pit.
I think this is, I think set 2 is a set of grey cards. Like, these grey cards are
Mandalorian Warrior,
like
this, even the Underworld Recruit is pretty alright.
even the not top
Top
target.
card, yeah. Oh, Rich Reward
Rich
is so
Rewards.
good. That card is awesome.
Grey cards this set
Did
have
not
really
expect
been
them to be
smacking
this
it
good.
out of the
Yeah.
park.
I like, honestly, I won't lie. I actually give her a 5 out of 5 because Underworld is such a prominent. We haven't even seen the Jabba or the what we assume.
I do
to be
not mind
Darth
this for a
Maul
turn
Leader.
1 play in
No,
an Underworld deck
no
at
way.
all.
And most of the time, a lot of Underworld is 1-cost 2. So like, you've got the hired muscle, Greedo, that 1-cost 2/1. I think there's another 1-cost Underworld from set 1. Like, there's just so much just general Underworld. If your opponent plays a turn 1 play that you need to die, just play this, and then McClunky her back for 1, kill it, deal 1 damage to their base, and the next turn you're going, cool, play this again, Crafty Smuggler. I'm just ahead of you now. Like,
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
It's it's very good, and I
She's
think
a
this is gonna be a really, really cool
5
card.
out of 5 for sure. And then again, here we go. This synergizes again with the Underworld bouncing, playing stuff.
Absolutely, and that makes sense because it is Cad Bane's ship, the Xanadu Blood.
Xanadu Blood is such a cool name.
It's a 6-cost cunning villainy, 4/6 raid 2 when played / on attack. You may return another friendly non-leader Underworld unit to its hand if you do exhaust an enemy unit or resource.
I like that it exhausts resources because you could be against a mono blue deck and have Xanadu Blood out, and they go our resource to 8. The first thing you do is go swing, bounce my Greedo, tap your resource down. That's Super Laser Blast. Can't do it.
Absolutely, and if you're doing something along the lines of
Proximum.
Dark Raid, Dark Raid this out, go awesome. Bounce this, swing on play, tap that resource, awesome. Next turn, swing, tap that other resource, thanks.
Yeah.
And as a raid 2, this is a 6/6. This can actually take out if it's like you raid it out, you tap down your opponent's fire spray, you swing this into fire spray, this lives, that fire spray
You bounce it
dies,
back.
and then
You bounce it back at the end of the turn if you dark raid it out, so you can play it again full health next
Yep.
turn. So,
And
I
then
think
tap down their resource. They can't.
Yeah.
Like, this is a great card.
it's also Underworld again, so like it
Synergy.
again it triggers Proxima, triggers Cad Bane. You can McClunky it back if you really need to. Like there's just so much. Like oh man, honestly, I know we talked about it last set where we were like, oh, Underworld's probably going to be really big and really fun. This is so cool. Like I would love to do this where late game, I'm going Syndicate Lackeys, swing Xanadu Blood, bounce from my hand, tap your resource down, Syndicate Lackeys, the whole time you're getting pinged for one, I'm tapping Cad Bane, pinging your base, like,
Yeah.
man,
I think
there's just a lot.
Cad Bane mono yellow is going to be a really fun.
Could be
deck to
really
run.
cool, yeah. I like, and at the very least, I mean, I'm gonna say it, Boba gets a lot better as well.
Oh yeah.
Mono yellow, like, that guy.
Yeah,
that old
well,
chestnut,
yeah,
that old
well.
armor.
You don't have to bring that up.
I think that this is a 4 out of 5. I think this is so solid, and a lot of decks go, man, I want to build a mono yellow deck, and I don't want to play Boba, but I just don't have a Fire Spring. Well,
I
here
think
you
there's
go.
also the thing of like, let's not underestimate how much pinging units is actually really good.
Oh, yeah.
So let's like, at the end of the day, this deck is different to Boba.
Especially-
This isn't a case of like, oh,
Yeah.
these will be ruining Boba.
It's like Ray and Luke, the Ray and Luke discussion.
Yeah.
They're not the same leader. I think
They're doing different things.
I think as well, there is, as I said before, there's a lot more 1 and 2 health units. So Cad Bane a lot of the time can just be like, hey, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it.
Yeah.
Like Cad Bane's pretty solid. So yeah, I give this a 4 out of 5. Oh, no, this card is so cool.
I really rate this card.
This card has covert strength.
It does. It's a 1 cost, vigilance neutral. It is heal 2 damage from a unit and give an experience token to it. This is just.
It's also got smuggle for 3,
It's got smuggle for 3.
which is so good.
This is just better
Better repair.
repair.
It is just a
this is
better
repair on crack cocaine because it still gives 3 extra health before. It'll still give 3 extra health.
Heal 3.
Yeah, but
You get +1 attack.
like,
And
this is great.
I guess
this is a great card.
the downside for those of you who are going, oh, why repair, is you can't heal a base. But like, put Chewbacca deck. Just Chewie leader. Just pay 1, heal 2, put a counter on him. You
Pay 1 heal. Do it 3 times.
Do it 3 times. Do that, and then you're like, oh yeah, but the grit. But you get counters. You get +1/+1 counters. You get more body for more grit. You get more general attack. I love this. This makes me want to build. This set makes me want to build Chewie so bad. You got your Gentle Giants. You got this. There was some talks about other Wookiee cards coming up to synergize. So I'm telling you, this set's the era of the Wookiee, baby. He's an underworld leader. Chewbacca's an underworld.
Yeah.
I love this card. I think this is just great in like, oh, I've got my Cloud City Wingguard. I don't want it to die. I want to fight this aggro. Great. Pay 1, heal it. Fully heal it, put a counter on it. And then just your opponent's going to go, oh, well, dang, now I've got to deal with this. Or, hey, I've got this 3 cost, 2/4 Royal, what's it called? The Royal Guard, the Palace Guard one, the Mandalorian one. Swing into a unit. Kill it. Pay 1. Heal the damage off it. Put a counter on it. Now it's upgraded. Now it's a Sentinel. So it's all like that kind of stuff is so cool. This card is awesome. The fact that you can smuggle it out for me actually adds an extra, like, in decks where you're like, ooh, because I'd pay 3 for this.
Yeah, I think there's definitely situations where paying 3 for this. Perfectly.
So if I draw this in my starting hand, I'm like, oh yes, I don't need to worry about what's a resource. I'm gonna always have this for later. Just slap it down, which is again, that's one of the huge things about Smuggle that is so cool about the mechanic. So I love it. I give it a 5 out of 5. I think if you are playing against a blue deck, watch this. This card's so cool. It's our second legendary.
Second legendary.
You gotta rule with respect.
Always respect, Reese. First thing an aggro deck, and I'm having some trouble because they just swung all their they outmaneuvered and they swung 4 units into my base.
That's like
and
10 damage. That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm running low on health. I'm not sure. Like they're tapped out.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like, yeah, I know you've got like what 6/6 on the ground.
yeah, but I can't get rid of all of them.
No. Well, I mean, you can though because you're green hero.
Yeah.
And you've paid 4.
Got it.
And you've used Rule with Respect, which says, a friendly unit captures each enemy non-leader unit that attacked your base this phase.
It sure does. This is counter aggro. This is counter aggro to a T. This is a card that says, oh, you tried to ignore my units and go straight for my base. You shouldn't have done that, bud.
It's so good in the late game as well when your opponent ramps up and starts going wide with faders and things like that. You know, they hit your base and they're like, oh, I got you. And then you just go, pay 4, put them all on a home 1.
And there's certain decks that just cannot deal with that. They cannot kill that home 1.
Put it on the Hunter and just start playing commands to buff up Hunter. And then suddenly he's like, okay, now you're going to get through my 7-10 leader to get back all of your other stuff. Are you willing to take that risk?
It's certainly going to be tough. I think this is a really cool card, a
really
cool legendary. I really like the artwork on it.
Yeah, so do I. Boba Fennec, and he's just at the table.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really fun card. This is a really cool anti-aggro card.
I love it.
And I really like how it's not... once again, they've gone down the route of the legendaries aren't... Good lord, this is broken!
That's most of the rares.
That's mostly the rares, honestly. It's just, this is a good card that I'd like to have in my deck. If I didn't have it in my deck, I wouldn't be too fussed about it.
I'd prefer my rares to be OP for my specific synergy, and for my legendaries to be decent staples that I can get or live without, depending on the deck I'm playing. So love it, love this card, really cool. 4 out of 5. This card's so good.
Now moving on to the Bounty Hunter's Quarry.
Remember a couple of weeks ago when we talked about Bosk for that whole episode?
Yeah.
He's back.
Oh, is he? He is.
Yeah, he is.
He really is.
He really is back.
Attach unit gains Bounty. Search the top 5 cards of your deck, or 10 cards instead if that unit is unique, for a unit of 3 cost or less and play it for free. Or what if I did it twice?
I put it on Bosk, and I am a better Vader. You become a better Darth Vader for 1. So you put it on a 1 cost. You put on Benthic 2/2s.
It's weird because a lot of people are going to be like, all right, I'm going to look at the top 10 cards and get 2 units.
Nope. You go top 10, pick 1. Bottom. Top 10, pick 1. Bottom. You cycle through. You cycle get through that.
Cycle
get through
that.
Your opponent has the gall to play the 2 cost Sabine 2/3 unit or Ketsu Onyo against you. So you go, hey, Dengar, this, tap Bosk Pinger, turn 1, she's dead. Top 10. Play 3 cards.
Heaven forbid they play it you play a 1 health unit for turn 1 this game, and you just and it's just pay 1 this, pay 1 Dengar, kill it. Top 10.
No, but it's 2. It's heaven forbid you play a 2 health unit because Bosk leader can just tap and ping it as well.
Oh god.
So
in that case, it's just if I have this in my starting hand, I can just go Bosk.
Yep.
Go search for a 3. Go search for my Boba.
Just go get
but I mean, it is play it for free. I could look for my Boba Legendary if I want to. I don't pay aspect cost on it. Bugger off.
Yep. The artwork's gorgeous. We saw this artwork as well. It's absolutely beautiful.
I feel like this artwork has moved to the right a little bit. I feel like the
they zoomed it in a bit more. We saw the edge of
we didn't actually see the full of the fire spray.
But now we have this card is so bonkers in Bosk.
This card is going to look. Is an uncommon that is going to be one of the prettiest hyperspace foils I've ever seen in my life.
There are so many cards this set. Once again, the art for set 2, I think they really... So set 1, obviously we love the art for set 1. We've done a whole episode on it.
Yeah.
The art for set 2, I think they really hit it. They really hit what they need to. This is a 5 out of 5, guys. Even not in Bosk, just being able to be okay... I need to get more steam. I'm going to pay 1 to put this on this, kill that unit, trade it up, just get more value out of everything. So this is just a really good card.
This is a 1 cost, 3 cost.
Yeah, literally.
In so many decks.
It usually doesn't matter what you're getting. Can you imagine in a blue-green bounty deck, you put this on something, you kill it top 5, and then you go, oh, the client. Oh, we're here? We are here? We're at this
Or
card?
even... even in something like a blue-green layer deck of 2-3 costs that you
kill something, go get wing leader.
Not even that. It's kill something, go get the militia, right?
Yeah.
Now we've got a 2/2 shielded sentinel on the field. like it's that really interesting. Like,
Put it in
like
Ray, you can put it in Ray. It's pretty
there's
solid.
so much. There's so much you can put this in.
I can't believe we're at this card. This
This
card, that's
is
a legendary,
card.
right?
This card
It's a legendary, right?
Yeah, no.
Oh, it's a rare?
It's a rare.
So
It's just like an uncommon. So
So that's it. Oh my god. This card's, it's just like when we saw Django and we were like, classic red villain legendary.
yeah, this is Maul. He is
He's
in the
here!
pipes.
He's
He is
here!
in the sewage.
Oh.
He is staring down there. He's saying, "I was expecting Kenobi." Is that scene? Because it's in the sewers in
I don't know.
Mandalore, right?
This might be when he's climbing on the table and killing people. I don't know. This is when Maul...
There's like little things look like the sewers.
Yeah, this is when Maul is doing Maul stuff.
Ah.
Which is, he does a lot of that in a lot of different series. So this is not a legendary, it's just as powerful as one. So 7 cost, Maul, Shadow Collective, Visionary. James, what's this guy do anyway?
He is a 7/6 Force Underworld.
Oh my god.
Just in case you wanted to get him back from your discard pile for 6.
Or pay 1 and, we'll read the rest of him and then we'll go through some gross combos.
He has
with him.
Ambush and Overwhelm, a fun combo that is definitely not crazy. It's just if he was just a 7 cost 7/6 Ambush Overwhelm, he'd be good.
He'd be good. He'd be great.
It'd be very good. But on attack, you may choose another friendly Underworld unit. If you do, all combat damage that would be dealt to this unit
my
during this attack is
gosh.
dealt to that unit instead. I have a crafty smuggler on board. I'm going to pay 7, ambush in Maul, and ping the shield off. Crafty
You just
smuggler.
choose Crafty Smuggler. You swing it like a Vader and ping the shield off. Kill it. It's dead.
Swing it at Luke. Ping the shield off.
And then you could just McClunky him back and play him again. Ping you could pay 1, McClunky him back, ping something for 3, pay 7, play him, get extra overwhelm damage through. The whole time he's an Underworld, so you can ping for 1 to base. If you've got Lady Proxima out, you can just pick her. Just pick Lady Proxima and just kill something. Maul is bonkers, guys.
Maul
you
is
got
very
you
good.
got those shielded units like Bib Fortuna, Crafty Smuggler. You can just ping Greedos and things like that. They just swing with a Greedo and then just play this and be like, hey, guess what? Greedo's going to take the damage. Swing into you. Kill him. Oh my god, she's dead. Flip this. 2 damage from the Greedo.
Yeah.
Skill. So it's just like, there's a lot of cards that at that point in the game, you're just so happy to have Maul be like, you are now my proxy for death.
Yeah.
That's so Maul, and once again, another card that is going to look just gorgeous in a hyperfoil.
Yep.
Such a beloved character with such
yeah.
a powerful skill.
They've done this guy justice. And the
Super
fact that he's not even a legendary is wild.
It's also, the artwork of this card is notably not the artwork we see on the box, meaning that likely we're still probably getting a Maul leader, which I know a lot of people have speculated. We are definitely in the camp of Maul leader, which I guess is now probably going to be either a blue villain or a yellow villain.
Yeah, I could see it being something along the lines of like a legendary neutral event or something as well. Like I could see like a big card for the set being it if we would go down the route of getting more next set rather than this set. There is that chance. Like it's not guaranteed. We don't know what's going to happen. But like most people are pretty sure it's. There's been like Maul is going to be the cunning villain and with Cad Bane, and then Afra's going to move to that hero.
And they've
spot.
both probably got Maul has got this card. Cad's probably getting a legendary, considering we've seen another piece of artwork separate to this and the 3 costs. That's
a lot
likely...
of Cad Bane art.
A lot of Cad. Well, I mean, he's like kind of one of the big guys, right? This is a 5 out of 5, guys. There's no way this isn't. This is going into my Sith Lord ramp deck, which, oh my gosh, I'll discard this to Force Throw. Somehow, Maul has returned. Here he is. He's back again.
Hey, do you like Grit?
I think Grit's a really good effect if I can give shields to the units.
Excellent, because this is Sonara San.
Oh, loyal to Kragan.
Loyal to Kragan.
Notably, these next 2 characters are, once again, from the Resistance Fighters TV show.
Can't say I've seen it, honestly. So I'm in the dark. This is a glub shitto to me.
True! Love glub shitters.
But
they're both glub shitters.
I'm sure they are beloved characters by some, and so
They're the villains
especially with
in
how
the
good
episode.
So she is a 4-cost vigilance villainy 3/6 underworld with grit, and when this unit is exhausted, she gains bounty, deal 5 damage to a base, and good God, is that good?
Well, I mean, if your opponent captures it, they deal 5 damage to your base. If your opponent kills her or captures her, they deal 5 damage to your base.
Right, yep.
But if you
May have thought about it.
Oh, that would be great. I just run this in Bosk and deal 10. But no, so so the payoff of that is that you will take the damage, but run her in Kira. Make her a 5/4 shielded grit.
Yeah.
Just like, she's pretty good in Kira. I think she's really solid.
And it's also the case of, like, it's only when this unit is exhausted, so is stuff that you can do to kind of mitigate it. If they're like, haha, I'm going to use this to exhaust her, then you go, okay, cool, McClunky, bounce it back to my hand.
Also, it's like, oh yeah, I want to get that effect, so I'll take her down. Okay, well, you have to wait for me to swing first.
Yeah.
So really, who kind of wins there?
Yeah,
If
and it's
I'm
like, oh, I've dealt some damage to her to kill her, and you're like, awesome, I'm going to swing 7 into your base because you did 4 damage to me.
and then they go, oh, take 5, and you're like, sure.
Anyway.
Anyway.
You've kind of won that battle.
Yeah. I think she's interesting. I definitely think she has a place in Kira, and maybe like some other boss, maybe blue boss she could fit into.
Yeah.
She's pretty interesting. I think she works nicely with Lompike.
You can find a way to get the damage off, and then
give her an experience counter.
not even that, you swap her to your opponent.
Yeah. Oh
and then take her out.
Choose sides.
Choose a side.
Kill her, and then that's really funny. So all in all, I think that Sonara-san fine. I think she's pretty good. I think that you can choose sides, and then you were saying that you could swing their unit into her, claim the bounty, 5 damage. She's fine. I think 4 is, I don't know. I think maybe you give her in Kira. She maybe has some like a good place to go. But I think that I think she's maybe like a 2.5 out of 5. I think she's cool. Yeah. I like this guy. I like this guy quite a lot.
Yeah, this guy's very cool. This is a 6-cost villainy 6/6 underworld. When a enemy unit attacks your base, give a shield token to a friendly unit in the same arena as
If this guy and an ATST fought, they'd kill each other.
ATST is a 6/7, my friend.
Is it?
It is.
Well, he's almost able to kill an ATST in one punch.
Almost, but can't.
This is a really cool card.
This is a really cool card. Being able to be like, all right, swing at my base. Like I like these effects that I'm not Sentinel,
but I like ramp payoffs. And this is just another one in the long list of really good ramp payoffs.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool. Like, okay, cool. You're an aggro deck. Great. Do you want to attack my base and start giving me shields on my Mauls and my Vaders and on my Kragans? Or do you want to trade into my 6/6, 7/5, 5/7, 7/6s? Like, it's so cool. Yeah. I love just those passive effects that make the game more difficult for your opponent to play.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what this is doing. I love it. I think of the two villainy rares that we've now seen, between this and Galactic Ambition, I'm pretty sure I know which one I'd rather play.
Galactic Ambition, of course.
Obviously.
Because then you can play Kraken for 6 health instead of...
And pay 7 for him.
Yeah, exactly. So, realistically...
Cobb Vanth!
No, Kraken is good. I think I'd give Kraken a 3 out of 5. Cobb Vanth! He's the Marshal.
Yeah, 3-cost command, 3/2, fringe official, with when defeated, search the top 10 cards of your deck for a unit that costs 2 or less, and discard it.
Whoa. So what you're telling me is that my Emperor's Royal Guard gets Sentinel when Cobb Vanth is on the field?
God damn it. Yes, he does.
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
For this phase, you may play that card from the discard pile for free.
That's pretty cool.
You play this guy, you put the bounty hunter
onto someone. You put
someone.
Hunter's Quarry onto
Hunter's Quarry, so you swing him into them.
Kill
you
them.
Search the top 10, you get a 2 or less. You search the top 10, get a 3 or less. You're playing Bosk, so you search the top 10 again. You get another 3 cost.
I like Cobb. I think Cobb's pretty cool. He's also a great ECL target if you're running. I know with my green boss deck, I run ECL, so just being able to be like, hey, your turn 1 play, I ambush and I kill it.
Yep.
I'm going to top 5 and just get something anyway, so I'm not behind on that.
And you get something like a Viper Probe droid or something like that.
Kylo's Tire Silencer.
Kylo's Tire Silencer. Any of those good 2-drops, and you're happy with that.
There is one important thing to note with Cobb Vanth is that you do not play it for free immediately. Instead, you may, for this phase, play it for free. So if you claim and they kill your Cobb Vanth, you can't play the card because you go, I get to do the thing. And then your opponent goes, hey, hold on, you've claimed. You can't take any more actions. Playing this card for free would be an action. It's not like Vader, where it says, when you play this card, look at the top 10, then you may play that card for free. It says, for this phase, you may play that card from your discard pile.
And I think that's exactly the reason why it's written out. Like, it's not like they could very easily have made it one way, but they've very specifically made it another way. And the reason for that is because at the end of the day, they want some nuance to it. They don't want you to just throw this down, then claim and go, all right, yeah, cool, I'll just get a 2-drop if you kill him. Yeah. Like, it is that thing where you are going to have to be like, oh, that's an action. Like, am I willing to give initiative over to get this 2 cost out? Like, it is something where there is nuance to it. It's like, and I think that's really good. I think if they had have just thrown it out there and be like, oh, yeah, just get a card. It's like,
do like this
he's got no downside to him. He's just throw him out there. You don't really care about the body. You just swing it into something and you just get something else, right?
I like this in Moff. Because he's a 3 cost, so he synergizes with Moff Gideon. So he can swing into like a 4 health thing, trade with them, and then top 5. Your deck is full of 3 or less.
Absolutely.
So you're gonna hit like an Incinerated Trooper, a Shore Trooper, Viper Probe Droid, Outland TIE Vanguard, TIE Fighter. You just Inferno 4. You're just gonna hit something. So you just essentially get some nice value out of it. Take out a 4 cost. If not, he's swinging for 3. He's an official. He triggers the Emperor's Royal Guards, which you run in the deck. So I think Cobb Vanth's pretty cool. I like him. I think he has a really interesting and unique ability. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 5.
Now we come to our last card and our last legendary of this week. We've had 3 legendaries this week. It's been very good.
This card's so kooky.
This is Crate Dragon.
It's a creature.
It's a creature.
It's sure is.
It's sure a creature.
It's a creature.
It is a 9-cost aggression 10/10 creature with Overwhelm. And that's it, right?
This thing beats Devastator in a fist fight.
This thing beats Devastator in a fist fight.
Well, they kill each other.
Well, Devastator kills it and it kills your base.
Because when an opponent plays a card, you may deal damage equal to that card's cost to their base or a ground unit they control. So if you played Devastator and they go, haha, 10 damage to your Crate Dragon, and you go, well, first, 10 damage to your base, my friend. Or, let's say, you playing against a green hero deck, and they go, I would like to U-Wing reinforcements. Well, that's 7 damage. And then they go, okay, well, I'll get these 3 units totaling 7. You go, oh, great. We take 7 damage. And they go, well, hold on. But I just played them for free. And you go, yes, but you played them. And that's all the Crate Dragon cares about.
Oh, that's what
Crate Dragon just sees you laying out the buffet for him.
And you say, oh, I'm going to play down this...
Anything. Pick a card. Home 1.
The weird thing is, you don't it's just a ground unit. So they're gonna be I'm gonna play this Echo Base Defender, this Akbar, and
anything else.
Alliance
Dispatcher.
And then you go, okay, cool. When you play now I'm triggering everything. The 3 damage will kill the Echo Base Defender. Then the 3 damage will do 3 damage to Akbar, and then the Alliance Dispatcher will do 1 more to the Akbar to kill the Akbar.
Nice Alliance Dispatcher, bud. You took 7 damage and killed 2 units to play an Alliance Dispatcher.
This card is an amazing control card.
Yeah.
It says, do you want to play a card to try and counteract this? Cool. I'm probably just going to kill it. If not, I'm just going to deal damage to your base and then swing this into base.
Card's also, once again, a great ramp payoff against control, because you've swung into their base and then you play this and you go, hey, do you want to get rid of it? you have to you either way you have to pay, which is great. Especially because a lot of ramp decks want to swing early or mid as well and try to get some damage build up. So this is a great card. Now this is one of the cards this set that feels like a legendary.
Absolutely. This card is really, really cool, and it's going to be really, really fun. I love the art on it. I love the ability on it. I love the creature of it.
Crate Dragon's so cool. I give it a 5 out of 5.
Woo! And that's all we have
That's it
for
this
today.
episode. Chilling out with us for, once again, over an hour worth of new spoiler cards.
We swear to God, we're going to be talking about different stuff soon, but we're getting through these spoilers.
On the bright side is, unlike set 1, which went on for quite some time, set 2s are going for really quick, and then we can just move straight into content all about set 2 for the next 3 months before set 3 comes out. So check out the gameplay, and look forward to more videos from us and in the future. So see you next week. We love you.
Bye.